Hey, happy Friday. Welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Like I said, happy Friday. Glad it is almost the weekend. So I hope everyone enjoyed their week, but got a great guest, returning guest back on the show. So before I bring her on, let's get it. Hit my music. All right. Once again, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal Podcast. Happy Friday, October 24th. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Glad to be back with a new episode. Great returning guest back on. She's been on the show many times and everything too. But before I introduce her and bring her on, you can follow the show on all the podcast platforms: Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. We're on BS3TVLive.com. BS3 Network, Roku channel, wherever you consume podcasts. The podcast is live and it's there. You can get all the shows, previous shows from there and guests from there as well. You can follow me on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is where I'm most active, and I also on TikTok and Blue Sky as well. So, but without further ado, let me bring in my guest, one of my favorite in the CrossFit space, media space as well. She does media. She's also has her own YouTube channel as well. She's a journalist, news journalist as well. So, welcome back to the show, Amanda Hari. Yes,
Hi.
everyone get that right. Say it right. Amanda Hari. Welcome
It's all
back,
right.
Amanda. Welcome back. Welcome to the show. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I remember you said something last week about your mispronunciation of your last name, which I already knew was Harry. They
Yeah,
say Hari, they say Harai. I'm assuming, I'm
yeah,
sure they butcher it a lot, but
they
like you
get
said,
creative.
yeah, yes. But as you said, it's like Harry, like a man's name Harry,
Yes,
or
like
something like that, or
Truman.
someone's Harry or something like
Yeah,
that. Yes,
sort of. Yeah,
yes,
but
yes.
as long as people are saying it, I don't really care. Say
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you want.
Yes, as long as they say your name and you get it right. They say you don't really say don't want to really say, oh, it's this way, but you said, hey, they say your name right. But that, yes, Amanda Harry is back on the show.
hmm
Like I said, I don't know how many times now we've done so many of these preview
Yeah,
shows, preview CrossFit games and Rogue and everything too. So thank you again. I really appreciate it.
no problem. Happy to be here.
Yeah, yes. How's everything going? How's life been treating you? And yeah, just how's everything going with you?
Yeah, life is good over here in the Bay Area. We're getting the CrossFit Games soon, so
Yes,
that's
yes.
pretty
Big
cool.
news. Yep.
Yeah, people at my gym are very excited. I go every year. I've been 10 times,
Mhm.
but people at my gyms, a lot of them have never been, or they haven't been since it was in Carson. So I think that this is exciting for a lot of people here in this area to be like, hey, we can go. We can even just drive down from our houses and get to be at the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, now you don't have to really take a flight this time
Definitely not.
around. You don't have to go across the country to Albany, in
Yeah.
upstate New York, or anywhere else, or and so now you can just say take a car ride and you're right there. So yeah, that's the
hmm
biggest news. So that was one reason. Well, this was even before we already had set this up.
Yeah.
But then the big news, they announced the 2026 CrossFit Games in the Bay, near the Bay Area and everything too. So talk about that. Talk about the excitement. I saw your the show that you put
hmm
your show that you put out a couple days ago, talking about it and everything. But talk about the excitement now that the 20th season of the CrossFit Games is going to be in California. So talk about the excitement about that news.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense to have the CrossFit Games back in California for the 20th year. This is where it started. And I mean, it started in Aromas, right? And Aromas is about 45 minutes from South Bay, from San Jose. I think that makes a lot of sense to go there. Aromas is too small. It's not sanctioned to have that event there. It's
Right.
outgrown that space. It's not big enough to do it there. They can't even legally have that many people at the ranch anymore.
Yeah.
So it can't be happening at the ranch. But this is so close to where that began, where we first saw the CrossFit Games and where CrossFit originated, right? Santa Cruz is where the headquarters was. There's a lot of people who do CrossFit in this area. We're still working on building back up the games.
Yeah.
After a couple years of a couple different issues, it's not just Lazar. Before that, we had seen a fall off in the number of open participants. It's been a couple year process to sort of fall back a little bit. It's going up. It's getting better. I think that San Jose is a great place to put it, to continue to get more people to go to the event. Bay Area is much bigger than Albany. It has a lot more things here. You can make a whole trip of a time out to the Bay Area. You can go up to San Francisco, go to Oakland, where I live, if you want. There's a lot of things to do here. You go up to Napa and do like a wine tour. So it could be a whole vacation for people pretty easily. And there's already a lot of people who CrossFit here. Just California is the biggest state in the country by population. So there's a lot of people here and a lot of people CrossFit. Hopefully they'll be turning up in San Jose for the games.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said it's in San Jose at the SAP Center, not the SAP Center.
It is SAP, yeah.
Yeah, yes,
I
SAP.
usually hear people even here call it SAP, but technically it is supposed to be SAP.
Yes, as the SAP Center, like I said, they announced it a couple of days ago. Announced it on Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, Wednesday. With Tia Claire Toomey was on the CrossFit podcast there with Chase Ingram, and so yeah, that whole thing, and Dave Castro was there. So yes, 2026 CrossFit Games will take place July 24th to the 26th, which is a week or two earlier than they've normally done over the last.
Than it has been recently, but that's the dates it was when it was in Carson.
Yeah,
so
right.
Like it's been those dates before. It shifted when it went to Madison, and it just shifting back. But think about how great this will be for Dave and the planning he can do. He could go there any given day. I mean, I don't know his schedule, but like it's easy for him to like head over there. It's just a drive. It's like probably an hour drive, maybe less from Aromas. So he can head up there and check it out and start planning things a lot more easily than when it was in Albany.
Yeah.
Or Madison.
And Madison in itself too, and I think Albany was, like I said, was a one-off. I figure when they did it in Albany, and we talked about this before, when they had it in Albany, it was like it could be this one time. And it was great CrossFit Games, and like I said, I'm originally from upstate New York, so my best friend lives in Albany, his wife and kids, so we had visited. They had a graduation. Goddaughter graduated like in June. Yeah, it was June. So it was a couple months right before the games, right at the arena. So it was, the arena's nice and everything too, but it's not much to do, as you said, in Albany. So.
And San Jose is the biggest city in the Bay Area. I don't think people realize that. I think a lot of people feel like it should be San Francisco. That's just a feeling, because in actuality, San Jose is the biggest city. And a lot of that just has to do with land mass. San Jose is substantially bigger by size than San Francisco, allowing more people to live there. San Jose is like 1 million people. San Francisco is like 800,000.
Yeah, so the difference, as you said, and you're right. And I heard you when you said on your show, like San Jose is bigger than San Francisco, and by population and size. So you said people might think San Francisco is the bigger city in the Bay Area, but you're right, it's San Jose.
It's not. San Jose is, and they're also hosting the Super Bowl in February.
Yes,
it's really Santa Clara, but that's essentially San Jose.
Right. The
they sometimes call it San Francisco in the football games.
Yeah, they do. They do. And then, the 49ers is the San Francisco 49ers. So, but he says in Santa Clara, they play in Santa Clara. So, yeah, it's like the New York Giants and the New York Jets, they play in Jersey. So it makes total sense. But, again, CrossFit Games making its return to its roots after 2 decades. When you heard about them, what they were planning on for the 20th season. Did you have any inkling that was going to go back to California, or because I know they were taking clues, like say maybe go overseas? I had a feeling in my just seeing it from the outside, I had a feeling they were going to go back to California. I was not surprised when they announced that. Yeah, we're going to go back to California. Just where it was
Yeah.
going to go back to Carson. Was it going to go to Aromas? But he said San Jose. So, but I was not surprised it was going back to Cali.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised, and I had a good feeling it was probably going to be in that area more so
Yeah.
than Carson. I just know that Carson, in the past, it gets very hot there. I know some people say
Mhm.
that it's not that big of a deal. They dealt with it for years, and they did, but we're just in a different era of the games now. And also, when they had it in Carson recently, they had the semifinals in Carson in 2024, I believe there was a semifinal there.
Yeah.
It didn't sell out super well, and it was just the tennis stadium. I don't know if that has to do with like who's in the area now and how many CrossFitters are in that area, but I do know that there are some really great gyms here in the Bay Area, some really strong coalitions of people that are going to be bringing in lots of people. Like I know my gym, Diablo CrossFit, which is based in Pleasant Hill, which is in the East Bay, but they're already talking about like, we're going to get a big group together to go down to the games. Like they're backing it. They're bringing people. They want to support the games. And we still have all those people like in Santa Cruz, a lot of people who used to work for CrossFit in that area still live there. Maybe people that still do work for CrossFit or associated with CrossFit. So we're just going to have a lot of people that are really involved in this sport that still live in this area that can, make the trip. It's not really even a trip for a lot of them.
Yeah. And like I said, I know for you, like you said, you've been covering it for 10 plus years, just over
Mhm.
10 years, being at the games, and now is right there, right
Yeah.
almost in your backyard, really.
This
So
has actually happened to me once before. I lived in Madison
yeah,
in 2018 and 19 or 17 and 18. But in 18, I went to the games. I was just staying at my apartment and was able to go right down to the games.
yeah, I'm sure. Like I said, that's good. It's good for you. Great for you. You said don't have to make that long trip,
Mhm.
7 8 hour flight, or even a 3 4 hour flight. And you talked about it too, about the airports now. It's easier for media, for
Yeah.
fans, and for the athletes in itself, just to be able to you know stay at do recommendation of hotels, and
Mhm.
also the airports close by. So yeah, so it's a good trip.
This
There's more than one airport.
Yeah, the San Jose airport is like 3 miles, maybe 4 miles from, SAP. So that's super convenient. But there are 3 major airports in this area that you could easily get to San Jose from, and I hope people remember that when they're looking for flights, because
Yeah,
while San Jose is the biggest city, it actually isn't the biggest airport in the area. That is SFO, San Francisco International Airport. So
right.
when you're looking at flights, I would recommend also looking at SFO. It's a 45-minute drive, or there's like some public transit options as well that you could take down to San Jose. But that may be your best bet, being the biggest airport with the most flights for your most reasonable flight option. But you have 3 airports, you have choices.
Yeah, got choices. Yes. So a lot of choices is very convenient to have, to be where the airports are. You say a couple miles away or even
Mhm.
45 minutes away.
Yeah.
It's much better than, um, going to an airport and you got to travel an hour or so just to get to a hotel or even to the arena itself.
Yeah, yeah, if you fly into San Jose, you'll be like everything will be right there. If you fly into San Francisco, it's not really that long of a ride, especially depending on what time of day you fly in. It could be really quick to get down to San Jose, and just more flights there too. So, lots of options, lots of ways for you to get there, for you to try to save a little money by looking at which of these 3 airports have the most reasonable flights. There's 3 easy ones, unlike somewhere like Madison where there was just that one option really.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, just one option, and then yeah. So now, like I said, got some options now, so more than one,
Mhm.
for sure. All right, well, we'll talk more about the games when when they're upcoming. A lot of big news is happening. The Open will be here in no time,
Yeah,
next year, very early, very soon, I should say, and yeah, so a lot of good things happening, and it's going back to Cali.
going
So
back to Cali, yeah.
going back to Cali. So
I'm
yeah.
already here. I'm ready.
Yeah, you're already there. You're there. You don't have
I'm
to worry
ready.
about it. Last on this one, I know Dave Castro, I think you alluded to this too, about they were talking about maybe the Chase Center. They talked a little bit about
Mhm.
that, but uh, pretty expensive. I'm sure to use the
Yeah.
Chase Center, the home of the Warriors and the
Mhm.
Valkyries as well. So he said he visited there and he talked about they really thought about it. But are you happy that they're not using the Chase Center
I don't
or
I don't know if I'm happy. Chase is awesome. I could see like a lot of awesome opportunities at the Chase Center because they also have this area called Thrive City outside
yeah.
where there's all of this like real estate to be able to like set things up and to have vendors out there and to walk around. You could have a whole vendor pavilion outside at that Thrive City. But I do truly believe the tickets at Chase Center would have to be outrageous. Because tickets for like anything there are pretty expensive. It's like
Yes.
the most expensive arena in the area. It's new. It just opened in 2019. It's like state of the art. It's great, but I just think it's not economically feasible for where
Mm,
CrossFit is at this
yeah.
point. And I don't know how well it would work scheduling wise because of the Valkyries, although not to get into like WNBA, inside WNBA type stuff, but there's also a really good chance they'll have a lockout next year. And we might not even have a WNBA season. So it might not actually be an issue. But I'm imagining they're planning as if there's going to be a season.
Yeah, absolutely, and then they'll be right in the middle of that season, even
Mhm.
though the CrossFit Games is only for the weekend, but they'll have to schedule it around, like
Yes.
the WNBA and its season. And then the Golden State Valkyries had a tremendous season. Got made the playoffs and
Yep.
in their inaugural season. So they are only going to get better. So as you said, they sold out just about every I think
They sold out every game. All
every game,
22 games they
every
sold
single game.
out.
Mhm, mhm.
So and the arena is very big and it's very nice, but like for the CrossFit Games to move in there, it is just the weekend. But I believe they rent out the facility for about a week, if not like 8 or 9 days, to set everything up and then to break everything down.
Yeah,
So that's a big chunk of time to not have a game there,
yeah.
and it would be difficult.
It would be very difficult. You're right. I think you said it wasn't economically feasible, probably just for the ticket sales in
Mhm.
itself. They think CrossFit, they really want in this 20th season, really want to sell
Yeah.
out as well, doing and getting people back, the community back, and things like that. And it's like, wow, 20 season, 20 years of CrossFit.
Mhm.
I would never even imagine like it just continued to it was growing, it was growing and growing. Yes, it hit some speed bumps
Oh,
along
yeah.
the way, just like any other sport.
Business.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, but now it's 20 years and of this is so it's amazing. It's an amazing feat to have. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to see what how the games are. And then as we talked about a little bit, Tia Claire Toomey, or she was
Yeah.
announcing this, and seems like me and you've talked about this too about her this retirement. Seems like she's got that fire back for CrossFit. Like she's like he said she did Waterpalooza, she just did that the SoCal,
Mhm.
she did the games, won the games again, and now it just I know, yeah, she's been off the radar because you haven't seen anything on her channel, but too much. But it there's rumors about her maybe being pregnant, is she gonna retire and all these things. She seems like she's got that fire back now. Like, I'm coming back to the games. What you think? Are you seeing that same thing? It's like, yeah, she's on the CrossFit Games page. She's done this and that. So I feel that she's concentrating more on the games now. Um, than anything else, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I think she's coming back. I really believe.
Yeah, I think that she's focused more on CrossFit than High Rocks now.
I
I
rock.
think that like doing the CrossFit Games this past year sort of reignited that fire for her. She
Yeah.
really sounded like she was happy to be there and excited to be there, and maybe even a little bit excited or motivated by the push that Lucy Campbell gave her during
Yeah,
some of
it's
those
very
events.
challenged. Yeah, she
Like,
challenged it.
I don't
Mhm.
know if she was like happy about it, but maybe motivated
Mhm.
or encouraged by it because there could be some boredom if you're just beating everyone so easily. It's like, why am I even doing this? Or you get a little bit complacent. When you have someone coming up and like pushing you a little bit, that's the kind of stuff that makes you want to push a little harder too. And I think that could have something to do with it. Maybe people talk about the pregnancy thing. Sure, that could be a possibility. I don't think she's going to retire this year, even if she was to be pregnant, just because she's talked so much. She talked about it at the games, like apologizing for retiring and unretiring.
Mhm.
There's always time to retire. There's always more time. You can always retire. Like she doesn't
Yeah.
have to retire. If she gets pregnant, she doesn't have to retire tomorrow. She can just be like, I'm pregnant. And what's
Yeah.
next? What's next?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so I think there's always time in the future to retire. I think she should probably hold off on that at this point. And I think she wants to compete again. I think she's competing again. She talked about having been to SAP. SAP was the host for an invitational a while back when that was still a thing that CrossFit did. So she's been to the SAP, and then she's also went to a hockey game there, which is something I've never done.
Yeah, I saw you talked about that too.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's like, hey,
geez.
maybe I should maybe I'll visit and go to a hockey game. Just
I've never been to an NHL game. I've been to football games, I've been to basketball games, I've been to baseball games. The only one I haven't done is an NHL game. So maybe I need to go down there.
just
They're
you
not
know,
good. So
yeah.
tickets should be cheap.
Yeah, right, right, right. When the teams are not good, the tickets are very, very cheap. I know when Philadelphia, depending on well, the Eagles no,
No,
but
no.
no, the Eagles no, but Sixers weren't good last season. I think they got tickets this weekend. I think for $6 or Monday $6. So
Mhm.
so if you go to a game like that, and I'm living here for the past 12 years now. They've had up and down seasons, so tickets have been very cheap, $5. Me and my wife went quite a few times when it was $5. So I get it. The Flyers usually they can be cheaper, and then the Phillies they've been pretty good. They've been really good the last couple of
Yeah.
years. But yes, when you
The
get you
Sharks
say
are just down.
yeah, this is down.
They've been down for like 5 years.
Yeah. So you can probably get some real cheaper tickets, I'm sure.
And I think they like when I last checked, they may have played a game more recently, but they had not won any games, and they were the only team in the NHL not to win a game.
Oh goodness, yeah,
So
that's
they're
pretty
not
bad.
good. They're
That's
looking
pretty
for
bad.
reasons to get people in that stadium. Maybe
Yeah.
CrossFit got a deal. Maybe they're like, please put some
Yeah.
people in here.
We need something.
Like,
Yes, we need something to reignite the stadium, and then the sports there. So yes,
yeah, but
yeah,
SAP doesn't have anything in the summer, so it's probably an easier stadium to be able to get into, and that
yeah,
has more availability. Like something like Chase would have really had to work around whatever the Valkyrie schedule was going to
yeah,
be, and try to figure out when's a time they can get that block of 7 days to have the Chase Center. And somewhere like SAP that's empty the majority of the summer, like it's a lot
mhm.
easier to find a weekend that you could get in there.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
have
Yeah. So,
one thing scheduled in July. I checked that right before, right around the time the games were announced. Yeah, they have one thing scheduled in July, and the games wasn't on there at that point, but now they have two.
now they got two now, and they got the games coming up. So yes, so we'll definitely be talking in between there now until July, end of July. So yeah, looking
I
forward to
think
it.
Kia will be coming to San Jose.
Yeah, I think so. I believe so for sure.
We'll
Yes.
see.
Yes. Yes. So all right. So now we do have an event coming up, big event, Rogue
Mhm.
Invitational next week. Starts on October 31st on Halloween in
Yes.
Scotland. I'm not sure if Scotland
I don't know
celebrates
if they do
Halloween. I
Halloween.
don't think so either. That's I really don't
They
believe
might.
they do. They might. There'll be a Halloween special. But
Yeah.
it's the 31st on November 2nd in Aberdeen, Scotland. Rogue Invitational. I think it's their seventh season, I believe, seventh year. I think I read that. So they always have a huge roster. Like they have some of the top there that people show up, the athletes show up, and
Mhm.
also have the strong man and
Yep.
strong women, I believe too.
Yep.
So as well, yeah, strong women this year as well. So yeah, so if you're like the world, like the CrossFit and the strongman, strong women. Hey, this is an event for you.
Yeah, if
Uh,
you like both these things, check it out.
no, check it out. Yes, and I went when it was in Texas 2 years ago and got to see. That was just a strong. That was I don't know if they had strong women. I think they did. Yeah, I believe so. The strong men, strong women, and then and also the CrossFit. So it's intertwined, which is great, and everything.
Mhm.
Tickets weren't super expensive either at that time in Texas. Not sure about Scotland, but what's your overall take on the Rogue Invitational? Like I said, as we talked before, they don't have the events yet.
No, they don't have the events
But
quite yet, so we don't know
we'll
exactly.
do our predictions
Yeah.
next week. I look forward to your predictions, and I'll respond with my
Mhm.
predictions and everything too. But what's your take on just Rogue Invitational as a whole?
Yeah, I think Rogue is a great event. It's great for
Mhm.
the athletes. They have good prize purses. It's
Yes.
far enough from the games that is a time for the athletes to take a little time off in between
Mhm.
things. And I think athletes are excited for it because Rogue treats them so well. They pay them, like they pay for them to go there, they support them. So it's not like so many other events where people are possibly doing it at a loss. You're probably just doing Rogue either making money or just like likely close to breaking even, which is probably nice for a lot of these athletes because it's hard to make a career at this. But it's always a great show. They always have a great broadcast. They usually have a couple options of broadcasts where you could pay to have some other announcing options.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things to see and to watch, and they do some great media around it, some athlete interviews before. They do really good marketing and they treat the athletes well. I think that's reflected in the competition, and it's usually a good race. So it's one of the premier events, I think, in the CrossFit season. Rogue, Wodapalooza, the games, obviously.
Yep.
Those are some of the big ones that people like to hit up. In the past, there was like Dubai was a bigger deal. That one's fallen off a bit. Rogue has really become, I think, the secondary event at this point to the games. It's the one that a lot of people want to do in addition to the games. Like, what's the other thing on your list? It's usually Rogue.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And this is like the premium, and it's at the end of the season, end of the year. You said a lot of them. You said Wodapalooza, and of course the games. And I guess if you want to add WFP, we'll see how that transpires.
And that could be this too.
Could be,
like that
yeah.
but I'm talking more over the last couple of years.
Yes, absolutely.
Things that have established themselves. I think WFP has potential, but it's still growing. I don't think we're at the point where we could say WFP is a premier event that a lot of these athletes want to get to. I think that Rogue is something that we've seen year after year now for 7-ish years, that athletes want to go to this, that athletes enjoy this experience, that the athletes are treated well here. And treated well in the fact that they support them in getting there. And I think that makes it like, it takes one stressor of competing off of these athletes, and they put on a good show. They put plenty of money behind it. It's also marketing for Rogue. So like Rogue has like a win-win here.
Yep.
They have an opportunity to highlight what they do, what they have, their equipment. And that's part of what it is for Rogue. Like, because most events don't make that much money off of the actual event. I think even for Rogue, it's probably a loss doing this event. But like you can't it's more difficult to calculate like who saw this cool new implement and then went onto our website and bought one. That's a little different. I mean, you could track the sales over that weekend, but it could possibly influence people a month from now. They could have saw it. But it's like, that's how they break even on this, right? Like it's a marketing event for them too. And they do a good job at it, but it doesn't feel overly like a marketing event.
Yes, and I like that how you put it as a big marketing event for Rogue, and it's good pub too for them and CrossFit in itself, because if someone can't, when it was in the States, someone couldn't make it to the games, they're like, oh, like you said, this is another premier event with big names in these events, and then they come to compete. The rosters over the last over all those years with Rogue is tremendous, and they agreed that they treat them right. I remember Tia Claire Coleman, she always talked about how much Rogue treats them right. And like I said, in regards of, you said, getting them there, just like a kind of like a red carpet type of thing, event. And he said it's different events. This is different from the games. Like they implement things from like the strawman competition into it's heavy. It's a lot heavy when it comes to the to Rogue Invitational for CrossFit. So and I think the athletes they like that type of challenge. It's a little bit, it is different from the games.
It's a different,
it's a different
program differently.
The program is different. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Really and different. I think with Rogue, they work in tandem with the games. Like they have never at all felt like they were trying to be like, we want to become the next CrossFit Games. In fact, I think I've heard Katie say the opposite. Like we're a different event. We are we want our athletes to be doing the CrossFit season as well. This is just another thing for the athletes. We are not trying to crown the fittest on earth. That is not our title. We are not trying to go for that. We're not trying to take that from CrossFit at all. Just another event. So I think that's a big plus too. And I think that's worked well for them, is that they're not trying to replace anything. And I know some other, like WFP is not trying necessarily to replace things. They've said they're not, but the way that Rogue does it is just being very, very clear all the time that this is a separate event. It's an invitational. It's not the same thing as the games. We're not trying to be that at all.
Yeah, yeah. The athletes are there they're there to compete, but as you said, Rogue is not trying to say, "Hey, we're trying to compete with the games." No,
Not even a little bit.
not even a little bit. We're different, and we want to give just another opportunity for the athletes to showcase their skills, their talent, and to make money. And at
Yes.
the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's like, hey, it's an invitational. We invite the top athletes who want to show up and want to come and compete, and yes, and do it for money. And it gets competitive. It's a competitive
Mhm.
weekend, which I
Yeah.
really love. Some might come for a vacation. That's what you want to do. That's fine too. But it's competition. So for sure.
And I
And
think it's great that it's in Europe, like you
yeah,
mentioned. Like you said, in the United States, it was an opportunity for people that couldn't make it to the games to go to something. Yes, but also I think for Europe, since the games are in the United States, it's a little bit difficult for most European CrossFitters to make it over here. Having a premier event like Rogue be in Europe, I don't know if that's where they're going to go next. They're not going to be in Scotland next year. They've already said that.
yeah.
But I think that having it in Europe really allows a different group of people to be able to attend more easily.
That's yes, definitely for sure. And yeah, just the name. We've got the women's with, like I said, I mean the roster is stacked. I mean Laura Horvath,
Mhm.
Danielle Bryan, Ariel Lowen, Alex Kazan. Not sure. I know she's been dealing with some injuries, so we'll see if she's there. Alexis Raft is also dealing with injuries, but
Mhm.
Brooke Wells, Emma Lawson, there's Maddie Sturt. I mean the list goes on and on and on. Haley Adams is going to be there as
Yeah,
well.
she's gonna be
Yeah, so this is Lucy Campbell, Kurt, you said
Lucy's
Kerstetter, Paige Powers is
yeah.
back as well. That's just the women, and then the men's just the names. I mean, this is a stacked field. Jeff Adler, Jason Hopper, Ricky Garrard, Justin Medeiros. I know Pepper's not going to be there.
Nope.
Yeah, so James Sprague, Patrick Vellner, Roman Krinikov, Jay Crouch, just the names for Chandler Smith. Yeah,
Mhm.
so this is another Guy Arrows, yeah, Colton Merton. So yeah, this is another stack. So I'm looking forward to it just for the talent in
Yeah,
itself.
a lot of
But
talent.
it's always there. And then they have the legends.
They
They have
do.
that as
They have another
well.
they have a lot of stuff going
A
on.
lot of stuff going
Then the
on.
strongman, strong
And strong
women.
men, strong women, yeah. So yeah, if you guys don't have, if you guys love, strong men, strong women, and fitness, and like the CrossFit, this is the event for
It
you.
is. It's a big event.
It intertwines for the whole weekend. So yeah, this is gonna be. I've always like I love Rogue
Mhm.
Invitational. So yeah, so I look forward to your predictions, and then like I said, I'll definitely shoot you mine as well. But all right, just got a couple more before I let you go. I wanted to talk a little bit about this Media Hill
Oh,
and and everything too, and what name the top podcast opinion by opinion and everything too. But the boys
they
uh,
did.
they did their media, which I thought was interesting because they're
I
so
thought it was
they're
fun.
yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was just they top podcast and in the CrossFit space. There's a lot and everything too. I would have my list would have been a little bit different because I don't listen to all the podcasts of
Mhm.
CrossFit, but like you said, you got to mention. I feel like, and I told you this, you should have been in that somewhere in that on that hill as
Yeah,
well because you're one of my favorite. And then I'm
thank you.
not even just because you're on my show and everything. I said, yeah, I might have a little bias, but no, but in all honesty, I love what because you report the news
Mhm.
and everything too. So and also do predictions. You've been at the games,
I
like you
have,
said,
yeah.
for 10 years and everything too. So yes, and you bring a journalistic background to it too, which
Mhm.
I really enjoy as well. But what you think of the Media Hill from that and everything too? And if you had to pick, what would be your um, top five podcasts in the CrossFit space?
I enjoyed the Media Hill. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a cute idea. I did enjoy them putting themselves at the top. I thought that was funny. I thought
Yeah,
it was tongue in cheek, though. I don't think they actually think that like they're the
right.
top podcast in the space. And I think part of the reason that they're not is that they just talk about their own things, you know?
Yeah,
Like there are people like Hiller, who I would put near the top of my list, who cover a lot of things and have a ton of content. Anytime there's something big, he's going to put out content, unlike the boys that have their one scheduled thing a week. Although I love what they're doing, and it's so cool to have like this insight to some
For
of the
the
biggest names
athletes.
in the sports right now. 3 of the
Yeah.
previous winners, like it's a very cool concept. It's just not the top, but it was funny to have them put themselves on the top. And that's the kind of confidence you need to win the games.
No. Yeah.
So fair. I think you can't not put Savan near the top. I know that his content is not what everyone enjoys watching, but my content's probably not what everyone enjoys watching. That's just anything, right? Like I think everyone has their own different tastes, different flavors of what they like.
And you can like both. There's nothing wrong with
both.
that either. At all.
100%.
Right.
Yeah. And I think what Savan has done is pretty incredible. He puts a lot of time into it. He has shows like every single day.
Yeah.
And he has so many of the athletes on for interviews and things like that. And I think for most people, even if they don't always love Savan's approach, I think his interview style is very good. And most of his interviews are very informative. So I think that like those are things that a lot of people, if they want to hear from the athletes, it is worth watching. And it's great. He does great interviews and he's come up with so many creative different things. And it's him and his team, I'm sure, but like the Kill Taylor and stuff like that. I don't know if those are really like separate things to be on the hill, but I think they're like really fun concepts that they've come up with.
Yeah.
So I'd put them near the top of the hill as well. And maybe this new CrossFit Sport of Fitness podcast needs to be talked about on the hill. Couldn't have put it on the hill when the hill was done because we hadn't had our first episode yet. But I think that this now has to be on the hill as well because they've talked about this is where the news is going to come out first. This is where the games came out with their location. Tia is, on the podcast at 3 a.m. her time, helping broadcast. Dave is on there. They said they're going to make future announcements on the Sport of Fitness podcast. So I really think that's something that has to be looked at as one of the top media podcasts. The CrossFit Games YouTube channel also should be up there. They're putting out some pretty cool things now. Or maybe you could argue the Sport of Fitness is one thing, and then there's CrossFit's regular channel where they're trying to push out things for forging elite fitness and methodology type stuff. I think that's really important as well. There are a lot of good channels and a lot of good people. And then like Clydesdale, I think Clydesdale would be my final one. I think that's 5. Clydesdale does a lot of great stuff. He has his show every day as well, sort of similar in the sense to Savan, where he puts out a lot of content. 6 days a week, he has content out and he's chatting with the chat. And I think they relate to a different audience that maybe Savan's audience doesn't relate to. And again, there's definitely probably mostly overlap. But some people that might not like that might like Clydesdale. Some people that might like Clydesdale might like Savan. So they have some similar attributes. But I think that they may appeal to different audiences. And Clydesdale really focused on the Masters in a way that Savan and most other people, including myself, do not focus on the Masters as much. And it's really cool to have a channel like that highlighting these Masters athletes, which is most people who do CrossFit. They're Masters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they think I'm glad the boys interrupted. They did this media hill because it even shows how many podcasts are on is in this space because there's a lot, and you might think like, oh, I didn't even know this podcast existed. I didn't know this podcast existed. I didn't know this, and you go back
and think, know I existed.
Right.
That's fine. Now you do.
Now you do, right? Now you do, and like you said, I love your podcast. Like you said, because it's genuine. It shows. Even you showed the inside of what you do at your gym. Also, on top of the athlete interviews, I loved your athlete interviews. And you said you're at the games, boots on the ground, or anywhere, and doing that as well. And you talk about the journalistic side. I think in some of those. Like I said, I don't listen to a lot of I have my favorites too.
Everyone does.
Yeah, everyone does. And they said nothing against like Savan and all them. I just don't listen to it. I know he does one daily and he's one of the best and everything. Dude, just not my just one of my favorites or anything like that. But like I said, he does these long form interviews like 2-3 hour shows and everything too, which I like the long form ones too. But like I said, I like yours. I'm a Talking Elite Fitness. I like I've always enjoyed their podcast. Listen to that all the time, weekly as well. The Mayhem, they have their.
Mayhem. I forgot Mayhem. There's like so many you can list off. Mayhem does a great job, and I think Mayhem has been so successful. Like, because in addition to the podcast where they
Yeah.
get people like Rich Froning, who is probably one of the most recognizable faces in the space, maybe
Yeah.
not quite. I don't know who's the most recognizable. It's hard. You can argue back and forth, but one of the most for sure. And then you have Angela DeChico, who's also another athlete that was regularly competing. So you have this insight from athletes, from elite athletes.
Yep.
And then they do things in the gym where they do stories or like videos at the gym. And then you get to see like the athletes that are at the top of their game right now. And I
Yeah.
think that's something that really pulls people into those videos. Like having athletes, those are what people want to look at. Like people want to like hear from these athletes. You don't get to hear from as much in the off season. When a mayhem video comes up and it's like a training video and they go and talk to like Roman Krenikov, people are like, oh, Roman, what's he up to?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think it's getting good.
Yeah, yes, and like I said, it's and it's all different. And he said some
Yeah.
of the, I like Castro's when he does his weekend
Oh,
review.
yeah, that's
Uh,
important too. You got to watch
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah, the weekend review, and then when he had when he did the interviews before the games,
mhm.
about 2 seasons ago now, and now he's doing the affiliate. So I thought that was a great concept. So every there's like every different, like I said, everyone's different. Everyone has their favorites and things like that. But those are some of my favorite ones that I
Yeah,
go to get news, to get what's the latest. Sometimes, like I said, I want to just a podcast that's just not so serious. There's
yeah.
just a lot of different other things that don't take them so seriously and stuff like that. There's just a lot of different ones. But as you said, you're on my top, and
Thank you.
talking like fitness for sure. Um,
I do think
yeah,
that Sport of Fitness one that Chase Ingram is doing now is one that
that's a
people
good
should
one. That's
should be
gonna be a good
checking
one
out.
to
It's
see
hard
that.
to say too much about it. We only had the
Yeah,
one.
there's a one,
One
right?
was good,
That should be, yeah.
but I think because they've talked about how they're going to be releasing information through that
Hmm.
podcast about the game season, I think that's going to be one that is worth watching. It's also live, and I know some people love the live podcast, so that's I think one that it's new, but it's got to
Yeah.
be on your radar now.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, and Chase, I mean, good interviewer
Oh, and
and
Chase
everything.
isn't new. Let me
Yeah,
make that
he isn't
abundantly
new
clear.
at all. He isn't new at all.
Chase is not new.
No,
New this
he's
podcast
been
is
in
just a new thing,
new
but
thing.
he's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
lots of
And
experience, lots of podcasting
a lot of
experience.
us have too. And I like every once in a while I listen to dense updates too.
Yep.
She gives a 10-15 minute update on things, but
I feel like that's part of the Savan averse,
yeah,
if you
that
wanna call
tree.
it
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So, like, I
yeah.
don't know if you were really, like, making a media hill, if maybe you put Savan and, like, all of his things as one thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because like you
And that's why
said,
he's near the top, right? Because he's
mhm,
not just one, he's got, like, all these little branches. You gotta put him near
yeah,
the top because
yeah,
he's
you
got
have
it's
to.
not just his daily podcast, but it's all of these little things that he's created.
Yes, yes, and I think Jason Hopper said that it's like a lineage that he has. It's like a
Yeah.
tree. He's got the tree and the branches of everything that it's like say he's a network that just has other podcasts under his network.
Yeah,
So
it's essentially like that now. So I don't even know, depending on like how we're breaking up this media hill, what the rule, if you make rules for it, you could
yeah,
almost argue that like, yeah, he definitely belongs in one of those top tiers, but is he just in that top tier as like just the one thing? Maybe. I don't know.
maybe yes,
Depends on how many things you want to get on there and how much diversity you want to have on it. You could have more diversity if you are to make him, one big thing.
yeah,
You can spotlight other things too.
yeah. So I thought it was a great concept, and he said
Yeah, me too.
it gives people something. It gave people something to talk about, and
100%.
but I love that what you said. As you said, yes, I'm there. I'm here. I've
Yeah.
been doing this, and I'm here. And you said Down Pepper. He hit you up afterwards. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
it's like yes,
Good
I've
dude.
been doing this for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're definitely makes it one of my favorites. So
And
for sure.
he said to me, like, this was before I put out that video. So, like, he saw my video and was like, oh, we were an oversight. That was the next morning. He messaged me
Yeah.
and was like, just want to let you know. I think we were like, over, like, you know,
Yes.
so
Absolutely. Yes.
no big deal.
Nobody. Yeah. Nobody said you're.
It made better content for me.
Yeah, make your yeah. It was great content. It was great content
Thank
for
you.
people to talk about. Yeah, thank you. They come with it. Come with those type of ideas
And
again. And so
Dallin did actually mention me in the video
he did.
as
Yes.
like an honorable mention. So, like, it's not like they totally forgot about me. I got mentioned in the video. That was cool. So,
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Cool guy, nice guy.
Yeah. You said you're going to continue to keep doing your thing.
But yeah, it doesn't like not a
As
big deal.
as it is. So yes, absolutely. So all right, just got two more. One of the questions I wanted to ask you is like, when you said you got your YouTube channel, it's continues to increase with viewership and
Mhm.
everything too. And but how do you decide what topics do you want to cover for your videos? And I think I asked you this when you did a Q&A, and I asked you one of the questions about doing more interviews, and you
Mhm.
did answer that. You said
I did.
just think it's just more of you like to say you like to do the predictions, the
Mhm.
news, things like that. But yeah, talk about the topics that you cover in, and are you going to do more interviews with people in the CrossFit space?
Yeah, I think I do interviews if the opportunity arises. I don't seek them out in the
Yeah,
way that some other people do. And that's
right.
mostly because like they're not the thing that gets the most clicks on my channel, which is not a reason not to do things, but they also require me to orchestrate with someone else in a different way,
Yeah,
which like, like scheduling and all that sort of stuff. And I have a crazy schedule with my job. And I've now just recently started coaching at my gym. So like I have very limited time, so
yeah.
it's easiest to do these videos when I have the time to do them, but it's just like a side thing that I do. So if I was always seeking out interviews, it'd be a lot of like managing my time, managing other people's time.
Yeah.
It's easier sometimes just to be like, oh, I can 3 a.m. I can decide I'm going to make a video real quick. And like, I don't need anyone else to get that done.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, for me, it's easiest when I have all these other things that I do and I love making the videos and I want to continue doing it. But like to make it sustainable, it's easiest to do it when it's convenient for me. So interviews are always something that's like requires a little bit more legwork beforehand and a little bit more organizing. And it's just like not the ideal thing for me. But like when I have the opportunity, I always do them if someone reaches out and wants to chat, always open to doing that. And when I'm at events, I love to interview athletes there. So like I do like to interview athletes. It just doesn't always have to be like in this format.
The format, yes.
Yeah. But when I see something big happen, I just try to make a video because I want to talk about it myself and I want to share it with other people. So I always try to get out and make as many videos as I can when something major happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like you said, when things talk about like the media hill, she's like, hey, I got to
Yes.
do a video about this.
Yeah, I'm like, I was gonna make a video anyway, but I'm like, man, this is now my top subject because this
Yes.
just popped up and I had time to do that.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So you have that, and then also you said they announced it was the games. That's
Yeah,
another topic. So they
it's
got
all
Rogue
thing.
Invitational next week. So
Yeah.
other things. So yeah, there's always something when it
Yep.
comes to recap of the event. You
Yep.
got
That'll
that.
be the
That'll be
next
something.
day.
Yeah, the next day. Yeah,
After
right.
Rogue, that'll be on
Yeah,
Monday.
right, the road. Yeah, that Monday. So yeah, yeah. So it's interesting. Now I always like to ask that, like how you pick your topics and things like that. All right, so a couple fun ones here. I wanted to last two. Wanted to ask you. All right, so there's been talk about the ownership maybe changing in CrossFit. They haven't really done anything yet. But if you were the owner, and
Hmm.
they said, Amanda Hari, you
Oh
are
no.
the new owner of CrossFit, and just of overall, you the overseer of CrossFit. What changes would you make? Whether it's the games, media, and where do you see the future of the games and the sport in itself if you were the owner?
To be honest, I think right now they are headed in a lot of the directions that I would like to see CrossFit headed towards. I've talked about in previous videos how I thought Forging Elite Fitness, the concept of that is something that they should lean into. And then that was back in June, and now that's their branding again. So
Yeah,
like I think they are headed the direction that I think they should go. I think that they should just keep focusing on trying to get as many try to recruit maybe back some of the affiliates that left, maybe some people that are a little bit more on the edge, like some people that have totally gone or are over it, like thanks for being here. It's okay if you move on. But then there's some other groups that like you can tell they're just kind of like unsure if CrossFit is going to support them in the way they want. And I
yeah,
think getting and communicating with the affiliates and continuing to build the affiliates and get back in the gyms and trying to make sure people understand what Forging Elite Fitness means, that it's like Forging Elite Fitness for you. It's not trying to make everyone into Tia Claire Toomey. That's just not going to happen. Sorry. No matter how much you want it, you might not be it.
mhm,
But I think that like they should make sure people understand that this is trying to achieve your most elite version of fitness. What is your most capacity? How can you build your most capacity? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make you the best version of you so you can be a better parent, a better coworker, a better friend, a better, everything. Like that's what we're trying to do in the gym. It's not about winning the CrossFit Games. It's about living longer, living healthier lives, curing chronic disease, that sort of stuff, or working to support lifestyles that help prevent chronic diseases. I think leaning into all of that, and again, trying to get back to the affiliates. The affiliates is where it's at. The Games is cool and awesome and a good way to advertise CrossFit. But at the end of the day, it's the affiliates and the people inside of them. So trying to connect with affiliate owners, making sure that they feel like they have what they need and feel like they are supported enough to relay this information, to create these gyms and these places people want to go, and just figuring out what they need and how they can be most supported into being, the best affiliates they can be.
Very well said. So CrossFit, if you're listening, anybody that's got to, hire Amanda Hari as a board member
I think they're working towards this. I think they are trying to work
so
more with affiliate owners.
Mhm.
They have that coaches conference, coaches and affiliate owners that'll be happening the days before the Games. I believe possibly the 20th, the 23rd. It might be 3 days, or it might just be like the 21st, 22nd. I don't know. A couple days before the Games, they have a coaches and affiliates meetup in San Jose. So maybe they're trying to do it.
And I think that's what it's about. It's about, you said, it's, yes, the Games itself is great, but it's more of, you said, just when I see Carson in the background.
Yeah,
There.
he's like digging in this chair. He's like hiding a toy.
Yes. He always makes an appearance, always.
He needs to make
Hey,
a
Carson.
Carson, you want a good toy? Go get it.
Yep, there he goes. But yes, it's great to, as you said, for the coaches, for the affiliates, just to make sure they have all the resources, things like that, for people to. It's at the end of the day, it's all about the fitness. It's all about that healthy lifestyle with it, and being able to. You said, I think the Open is a great example. Has been a
Open is
great
great.
example.
Trying to get
Yeah.
people excited about the Open, getting
Yes.
affiliate owners excited about doing the Open
Mhm.
in their affiliate, relaying to people, this is like a test, a yearly check-in, just to see where you're at. Doesn't be a scary test, just to understand what you're getting better at. You can see growth. Sometimes you might not feel like you grew over the last year, and then you do the Open and you see, oh, I'm a percentage point higher.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, I mean, maybe I did get better this past year and I had no idea. So it's just a good check-in. And even staying at the same level, the field gets fitter every year.
Yes.
So if you're about the same as you were the previous year, you probably got a little fitter.
You probably did. Yes. At the end of the day, you probably did. As you said, just getting people to do something with their lifestyle and fitness, some type of movement. That's all it, that's what it's about. Like I told you, I do kickboxing. It's all about movement. It's just all about I love our gym, CKO South Philly, kickboxing. They're all about just moving and fitness, and everyone's on different levels, and
that's okay.
that's okay. That's okay. As long as you're there and you're having fun, and on top of it, you're moving, you're just trying to get fit and just trying to get healthy.
Showing up is the hardest part.
It is. Yes, showing up is the hardest part. Absolutely. Once you're there, and it's all about just having fun, and you're meeting people and everything too. I love our gym too. So it's great. It is great. So
want to create an environment in the gym, and that's like that people want to be in, and that's something about like helping these affiliate owners, making sure they feel supported enough to create these environments that people want to go to. So I think that's just something that they have to continue to lean into. And like Forging Elite Fitness, I think is awesome branding. I think some people still don't understand it. I think they gotta like double down on explaining like it's forging your version of elite fitness.
Yeah. Making
you the best athlete you can be. It's not like everyone has to be Tia. Everyone's got a 12-pack by the end of this workout.
Yes.
That's not it. You don't have to be scared.
No.
Not everyone's going to clean 300 pounds.
Right. Everyone, like you said, everyone's not Tia and everyone's not Gee that's going to, you said, clean 300, 400 pounds or whatever.
And listen, you don't have to worry about it, because every once in a while you do hear from women, like they look at Tia or they look at Annie or they look at someone like that and they're like, I don't want to look like them. It's not going to happen. You don't worry.
It's okay.
Don't worry. You're not going to look like Tia. Just trust me. You're not going to accidentally come in here, do a couple classes and be like, whoa, I'm Tia.
Right. It's okay. It's okay.
You'll
It's
be fine.
inside. All
It's
right.
not gonna happen.
You showed up, and you're willing to work at it. You're willing to
Yeah.
whatever the level is, that's okay. That's for sure
Mhm.
okay. Absolutely. But that was very well said. But Amanda, this is always a pleasure catching up with you. I was
Always happy to be
excited.
on.
Yeah, it was exciting to. I always like I said, I'm always excited to have you on and to discuss just in general, just things that's going on in CrossFit, but just what's going on and what you're doing, and you said on your real job and
Yeah.
everything too. You said news journalist and
Yep.
reporter, all those things. But you said CrossFit, we enjoy that, and I say I always enjoy the content and everything too. So keep up with all you're doing and everything. Really appreciate you and appreciate the time as always. But let everyone know where they can follow you, want to reach out, follow the
Yeah.
YouTube channel, and all those things.
Just searching this pretty much
Mhm.
anywhere,
Yes.
YouTube, Instagram, that'll help you find me. Just my name, Amanda Hari. You can find that on YouTube. You can find that on Instagram. And those are pretty much the places that I am. You, Courtney, are in a lot more places than I am. I am not on the blue sky.
Well, I don't use them all, but I'm on them. Like I don't really. I mean, TikTok every once in a while, someone share my video, so
I
I'm like,
have
oh.
a TikTok. There's nothing on there, but you can follow me there. I mean, that same thing. That's the name. But
Yeah, yeah. I'm on TikTok, and like I said, just videos that have been uploaded, and I just
Mhm.
kind of just share it. That's it.
Yeah,
If you see my thing, it's just share the videos. There's nothing I've done on TikTok in itself. And Blue Sky, I put a Blue Sky, and I try to get into that, but I'm trying. But I'm on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram mostly. So mostly Instagram,
yeah.
Twitter, and
Yeah,
YouTube. So
so
yeah,
YouTube and Instagram are probably
Instagram.
the 2 best places and the
Okay.
easiest places
Yes.
to connect with me.
Yeah, absolutely. So connect with Amanda Hari on
Yes.
YouTube for sure, the YouTube channel,
Yep,
and also on
YouTube's very
Instagram.
active.
Yeah, very
YouTube's
active.
probably my most active social media.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Instagram, but I'm not posting on Instagram the way that some people do, but I post on YouTube weekly. So,
Yes, so yeah,
check
so
that out.
check out the videos there, the content, like I said, some of the best that I'm
Thank you.
always in the comments and listening. Every time you have a video, I always enjoy those videos as well. So yeah, follow Amanda if you in all CrossFit things on her YouTube channel. And then they said she's there at the games, at some of these
Yep.
events, interview athlete interviews and
Mhm.
just in general news and everything from definitely from one of the best journalistic sides of
Thank you.
CrossFit. So yeah, so again, thank you, Amanda. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the weekend and look forward
Awesome.
to the Rogue Invitational. Predictions and everything too, and the
Me
content
too.
there. So I'll definitely post my top 3 or top 5, and we'll go from there.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, and you have a
Thank
good one.
you.
Talk to you soon.